Okay, I'm going to tell you some race tips that I learned from this towed race in Cedarburg. You can see this corner here is very tight, which is important to note. And then the corner after this, which is pretty tight and off camera, is also somewhat problematic. And what that really means is in a big field like this, that you need to be in this front bubble, so to say. The front, maybe 5 to 10 guys where the lines are very easy compared to at the back. You can see here, I should be following this wheel, but on this stretch, it's also important to note that there's going to be a washing machine effect there. So you can see here, once it bunches up, it gets real sketch. People are taking all sorts of crazy lines and deviating from their lines, and that becomes, even this line you can see way outside. It just was really sketchy. And look at the field; it's wide all over all over the road. So I knew pretty quickly in this race that I needed to get to the front and be in that front bubble. And move up. And so here's an easy option. Look at me. I'm not using too much power. The flag on the upper right you could see is blowing so that I'm protected from the wind all the way up. So you don't need to use too much energy, but you got to use it when you got to use it. And I recognized that I needed to move up right there or I was going to be stuck in a huge field in corners that people were braking like crazy and taking wild lines and probably crashing. And that's very, very important to recognize in any race because look at this. This line here, a lot smoother in the front bubble. Now I'm in the front bubble and life is easy. So I decide I want to stay in that front bubble and I'm going to be aggressive, kind of like we talked about in the other races and where my goal of this series was to just get out of conserve mode and send some attacks. So that's what I do right here. I jump. I don't bring anyone with me. And this was important because I wanted to be aggressive. I wanted to take the lines I wanted to take, which made life a lot easier because when you're in the pack, like I was talking about earlier, it's kind of sketchy. People take bad lines, people break. And so you can see when I get to this corner here, I pretty much pedal all the way through it and I take all the lines that I want to take off the front and I'm aggressive. But unfortunately right here, they call that there's going to be a lowland sprint points. And so everyone in the bunch is trying to chase me down because there's a jersey on the line. So I get caught right away. But look at this guy on the left-hand side. This is what happens when you're in the bunch with a lot of guys. Crazy wild lines, dive bombing. It got very, very sketched. You can see here, even if I'm off the back, you can kind of tail gun, but this is just not where you want to be. I can take the line I want to, like through that, which is pretty smooth, but even right here, you can see tail gunning only gets you so far in a race like this. You got to be in that front bubble. Unfortunately here, I also try to take the lines I want, but you can see on the right-hand side, I'm about to get elbowed really hard right here, there. I actually thought that was intentional for some reason. There was way enough space. I was tail gunning, so I got really mad at that guy, and that's completely unnecessary. There's no reason to elbow someone at that point. But here you can see last lap gets stretched out. I'm already way too far back, and gaps are opening up. Gaps are opening up here, so my race is already over. But hopefully you learned a thing or two about that front bubble and basically where you want to be in a race is in that front bubble. The next race in Bayview is very important for that too, so you'll hear about this again. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Subscribe and you'll hear some more from the rest of these towed races. Thanks for watching.